we don't want to work that hard, and we think we're going to work smart. And this industry, commercial real estate, we think we're going to post content and people are going to come in droves to us. It's a people business. You need to be shaking hands. You need to be talking to people. You need to be the human that everybody else wants to talk about with real estate about. So how do you do that? And we just think that, it's going to be easy to get started by just doing some marketing and it's going to fall in. It's not. People, you've got to build trust, and you're going to do that by face-to-face.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Joe Killinger, who is an investor, author, and entrepreneur. Thank you for being here today, Joe.
And thank you for having me on.
You have so much going on. You have this great platform for people to get into real estate. How did you enter the industry to begin with?
Well, I'm from Nebraska, farm community, town of 281 people. So as you can imagine, dating pool was pretty small, but it was a great place to grow up. You learn responsibility. But my father was an auctioneer, and he was auctioning off. He started off doing livestock and then farm equipment. Then he eventually got into real estate. And for some reason, the real estate just really, as a kid, I got addicted to it. And it was just, I absolutely fell in love with it. So then when I got old enough, was going off to college, I decided to get my real estate license. And I started, for some reason, this company in Lincoln, Nebraska, Wood Brothers Realty, brought on this kid that was 18 years old, looked like he was about 12, and said, here, we'll hire you, start calling. And I put a phone book in front of me, right? And so that didn't go too well, as you can imagine. But this guy took me under his wing, and he really showed me the market. And I ended up in farm sales, but family ended up losing our farm. And so I didn't have a place to go back to. And so I got into the University of Nebraska, was there for about a year and a half, and then we ran out of money. So I ended up just getting in my car, driving to California, got to San Clemente. And that's where I ran out of gas. So that's where I started living. And easy. I started doing Stride Right shoes during the day. I was sales in Laguna Hills Mall, and I did telemarketing at night, which, by the way, I'm the worst telemarketer in the world, which then I ended up doing cold calling to get a career started, right? But real estate was always in the back of my mind, and I wanted to get back into real estate. So I got my real estate license here in California. And then I started working as an assistant to a residential real estate agent. Quickly learned residential wasn't really for me and couldn't figure out what to do. Ended up moving up to LA, got back into real estate, did a little development, started working with people that would buy houses and fix them up. And I'd throw a little money in, but I had to live in the property, which, I'd seal a room off and I'd live in there. I don't recommend anybody do that. But when you're in your 20s, anything goes, right? So I would do that. And then we were just kind of flipping those houses, and we ended up losing, the economy tanked, and we ended up losing we ended up breaking even on the properties. I ended up at a real estate auction company here in Los Angeles, and started doing marketing there. I was on site. They ended up pulling me into the office, and my business partner now, George Pino he's a CEO of our commercial real estate company, actually laid me off from that company. And so that's how we really got to know each other. And he laid me off. So we sat and talked that morning about, what we're doing. And I was going over to another company that was launching a startup auction company. And went over there, got started with that. George called me a couple weeks later and said, "Hey, I got laid off." And I said, "Well, you can come and work with me." And so we started the Sands Group here in Los Angeles.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And we took that to being the #2 real estate auction company in the Western region within the first 18 months. And Kristen, I'm telling you this, it was a different time. There was no internet, right? So it was all cold calling. We get in the office at 7:30 in the morning, start calling New York, all calling on banks and developers. We end up into the day, well, I say end of the day, about 3 o'clock, we'd just be calling on Hawaii banks and all that. Then we'd stop. And then we had to manually fold letters to the people that we had talked to that day. So they would go out in the mail that night. And then that company ended up closing down after 7 years because the auction market was just going away. And then we ended up, the company that we are partners with ended up selling. And then we ended up in another commercial or residential real estate firm, and we started their commercial division for them. And then they got sold and they called me when I was up in Mammoth skiing, and they said, "Joe, we need to close the commercial real estate division down." And I said, "Okay, how long do I have?" And this was December 9th. They gave me till January 1.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, so this is kind of immediate. And so then we started Commercial Brokers International.
Wow.
And that's how Commercial Brokers International started. So we just decided to take my broker's license and launch it. And we're at 20 agents right now. We're a full service company doing deals all around the country through our affiliate net that we own, Commercial Real Estate Affiliate Network. And then we also have Icon Capital Advisors. It's a commercial mortgage company. So real estate's always been my thing. I
Yes.
love it. I love doing deals. I love sitting with our agents every day, talking about structuring deals, helping people really find, the right investment for them. And I love it. I love it. And I will do it till the day I die, I think.
That's amazing. You have a very interesting entrance into the market. I was
Yeah, but do you
interested.
notice none of it was calculated? It was all reaction to everything.
Your tank ran out of gas in a great area, by the way. Like that was not a
That's for
bad
damn
place.
sure. It
Yeah.
just seems like every time I turn around, I'm like, well, I got to go start over again. And so finally, we just decided to start our own and create our own future.
In the beginning, when you were kind of figuring out what you wanted to do in real estate, what didn't you like about residential and what did you love about commercial?
It's not that I didn't like residential. It just wasn't, I don't know if I wasn't around the right people or it's just the environment wasn't for me. I like structuring deals and then you're always with residential, you do the deal, you sell the house or lease the house and then you move on to the next deal because that client's done. In commercial real estate, you can actually build a business because if I find the right investor, I can do multiple deals with them in a year.
Right.
Or if I do a lease, then that lease is going to be up in 3, 5, whatever the number is that you negotiate. So they're going to be a repeat client. So you can really build a business in commercial real estate is the way I looked at it. And that's really what was the attraction for me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, commercial has so much opportunity there. And what would you say about the market right now in general?
It's, we got to keep in mind that real estate is very local. So I'm in a high rise in Brentwood right now, and you take this high rise and you move it a mile south, it's a completely different tenant base, completely different price point. And so you've got to really, there's some spots that are good. I was just talking to an agent that handles Orange County, in Paris, Inland Empire Industrial, and it's 20% vacancy. I had no idea the vacancy was that hard. So it's really important that you, as an investor or even as a broker, know that area that you're investing in or you're going to be working in.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
But all overall is a market. There's so much capital sitting on the sideline right now, Kristen. I was just talking about it the other day. So there's 350 billion of dry powder sitting on the side waiting to invest. Matter of fact, Blackstone alone has 177 billion globally. And, they're looking at warehousing, they're looking at student housing, they're looking at data centers. Of course, everybody's looking at data centers. So I think maybe when interest rates come down, we're going to see more people doing investing. But my thing is, are there going to be sellers? And what's the competition going to look like? And, I was on a podcast the other day and she asked me, and I said, I don't know. it's tough to say because if you look at what's going on in the marketplace right now, and look at the stock market, there's so much activity there that it doesn't really make sense to me. And I was talking to the guy that handles my accounts last night, and he goes, "Yeah, it's a little scary." And I said, "Are we thinking about getting out?" He goes, "Nope, not yet." And so, but he laid down all the things that he's watching every day. That gave me a migraine because I'm just a real estate guy, but there's just so much. You just want to be watching out for the opportunity. There's just a lot of ifs right now. And so you
Yeah.
want to stay on top of it. Make sure you're reading your real estate publications every day, watching the shows that are talking about it, because there's a lot of great information.
Right. And what I like about the business you're building and what you've built is I think education is a huge component of it that, maybe you feel like people don't necessarily get the proper education they need to be successful in this industry. I would love for you to talk more about that.
Yeah. I love commercial real estate brokerage. I think I made that, and I just think that, when George and I started out, back then they didn't really do any mentoring. They just felt that you were gonna be competition in the future, right? And so, it just didn't bother to do it, but then as we got going, we owned our own brokerage, we saw the need for training because if you look at the commercial real estate brokerage industry overall, average turnover is between 87 to 90, I think 2%, somewhere in there. So people get into this business, almost all of them are out within a couple years. Why?
Wow.
Because there's no training. And so now there's great coaches. There's a coach out there, Rod Santomassimo. If anybody's thinking about coaching, give him a call. Or if you want me to connect you, I'm happy to. But it's expensive, and a lot of new people can't afford it. So that's why I created this joekillinger.co. And it's a YouTube channel. It's a website that has a bunch of tools on it. There's books for reading. I post blogs every week to really try and help people out. And honestly, I've pivoted. I got kind of this is more of a confession than anything, Kristen, I was running my YouTube channel. I was introducing authors on a weekly basis. I got to interview Chris Voss, Don't Split the Difference, Cody Sanchez, all phenomenal. But in the end, I got thinking about, actually, my sister said something to me. She goes, "You really got away from why you started your YouTube channel." And that kind of hit me. I'm like, you know what? You're right. So we're pivoting right now. We were growing like crazy. We're at 45,000 subscribers. And so now we're pivoting and we're really focused on so it's just me. Matter of fact, I got to shoot one right after this. Me talking about how to grow your business. And it's painful. The views are way down because that's not why everybody subscribed to the channel, but I'm doing everything I can to really help everybody in our industry grow their business because, where a lot of companies just don't educate, which is amazing to me because I don't know why you'd bring somebody on into your company, put them on the phones without any real formal education and expect them to make money because they're not going to make money because they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
So you're spending money on them as a company owner and I don't get that investment. So we do We do it completely different at Commercial Brokers International. You won't touch the phones until I sit down with you and I can go through your market with you, and you can tell me if let's say it's multifamily in Culver City. If you can't tell me how many properties are on the market right now, what the average sale price, what the average list price was, what you average days on market, all of it, then there's no need in getting on the phones because if you're just going to call somebody, say, "Hey, are you thinking about buying or selling real estate?" What's your hit rate? It's
Yeah.
terrible. Now, if you call somebody up and say, "Hey, I see you own property XYZ. Did you see that the property right down the street just sold or just came on the market?" You can have a real conversation with somebody. Now you're going to make more money. Now there's a chance that you're going to survive in this industry. So until we can have them do that, we don't put them on the phones.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But we do training every morning at 8:30 in the morning. And then at 5 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we sit down with them and go, "What's working for you? What's not working? How can we help you get better?" And those are 15 minutes. And those little 15 minutes, so half hour a week, what a huge investment that's turned out to be. It's just giving people the opportunity to educate themselves. That's really what this joekillinger.co is all about.
Right. And it's all for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't charge for it. I do you know what? I think I learn more from the people I talk to, and it gives me more ammo to go out to the marketplace with and say, "Hey, if this happens to you, then you should do this."
Yeah.
And so, plus I just love doing it. When I was going to college, I was really focusing on becoming a teacher. It was an ag teacher because I was such a farm community. I'm a horrible farmer, by the way. I don't know what made me think ag farming was going to be education was going to be good for me, but here I am. So I'm doing teaching, but I'm also doing real estate every day with people I just enjoy being around every day. So I'm very fortunate.
Amazing. So, what are some very common mistakes you see people make early on? Like, I'm sure you see the same stuff popping up
Oh
or a
yeah,
lot of times.
not doing enough. I mean, there's times that I'll take a call, Kristen, and you can see that they're taking the call with me and taking my time, and they're counting this as, "Look what I'm doing for my career. I'm taking the time to talk to somebody about it, but I have no intention of implementing any of this." It's really I always tell people, don't talk to people or don't take advice from people that are where you're at right now.
Right.
Get advice from people that are where you want to be. That's where the real advice, and they're going to tell you it's going to take time, it's going to take work. And I see a lot of people getting it, is thinking there's something new that nobody else is trying right now. Trust me, in our industry, we've all tried it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would be more popular. It's just really it's tough to get away from the hard work. We don't want to work that hard, and we think we're going to work smart. And this industry, commercial real estate, we think we're going to post content and people are going to come in droves to us. It's a people business. You need to be shaking hands. You need to be talking to people. You need to be the human that everybody else wants to talk about with real estate about. So how do you do that? And we just think that, it's going to be easy to get started by just doing some marketing and it's going to fall in. It's not. People, you've got to build trust, and you're going to do that by face to face, actual conversations, talking to people. And I think I'm big in digital marketing. But matter of fact, there's the Commercial Real Estate Influencer Summit that's coming up, and that is all people. There's 150 brokers from around the country that are all into digital marketing. They're doing their business that way. So I think early on I got involved. As I'm on my 5th year right now. So I'm one of the heads of marketing for it. I really thought this is going to be a game changer. It's going to change the way we all do commercial real estate, and I was wrong. It has changed it, but cold calling is still one of the number one things. Networking is right there. getting out, talking to people, your sphere of influence. The digital marketing is a great way to stay in front of people, though, and become an expert in a market. I still think a young person can go into a marketplace and take over a market by implementing all of it. You got to do the cold calling, you got to do the networking, you've got to do the content creation, write blogs, get reviews, and when you can, you do proof stacking to show that you've done deals in the marketplace in a certain asset class, and that lives there forever. And so I love this industry. I think for a young person, what a time to get started.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, you're really only as good as your network, and especially particularly in the commercial, aspect of it. Um, yeah, I mean, building it is huge, and what would be some of your tips for people, to get out there and network who may be afraid to?
Yeah, it's you've got to go. Matter of fact, it's funny you ask that, Kristen, because I'm getting ready to do a video on it right now. Here's the
Fabulous.
script.
Topical.
Yeah, it's it's so the some of the number one complaints we get in our industry is, hey, this broker reached out to me and then I had a question for him. I called him back. I didn't get a response.
Mm,
Responding, responding is a good place to start.
yeah.
That's making sure you're getting out. But when you actually go to a networking event, and this is something that you see, because we as salespeople think if we just talk, people are going to want to call us back. When it's actually the opposite. And my dad told me once, he goes, Joe, you've got one mouth and two ears. He goes, just shut up and listen. And, it's amazing how the older I get, the smarter he gets.
Right.
But he's right on. The more that you just listen when you're out networking, if you actually take the time to listen instead of talk, you're going to hear what pain points this potential client is going through. You're going to hear what their needs are. And so, that's probably one of the biggest things is don't go out there and just be talk, talk, talk. Don't go out there just to hand business cards out. And my pet peeve, don't just go on LinkedIn, connect with them, and then send them a message afterward.
Right.
Everybody's doing that right now.
Mhm.
But just go out there and be the real you and listen to people and bring them value. It's about bringing value. If you meet somebody and they have a property, go ahead, just do a broker price opinion. Now, it depends on what you call it. Broker price opinion, broker opinion of value, BOV. Send it to them. The numbers are going to be rough because you don't have the rental rates, but you've got a reason to reach out to them and say, hey, if you want me to update this with the real numbers, I'll be happy to do it for you. Just let me know what the real rental rates are. Do it for free. Just do it to do it. Connect them with somebody. If they need a good podcaster, say, listen, I know this lady, Kristen. I can connect you with her. Maybe you should be on her podcast. Don't expect anything in return, but just do it to do it and know that down the road, not with everybody, but down the road, you're going to get business coming in from it. And I think that's the biggest part of networking.
Yeah, absolutely, and, particularly when you're in those first maybe few years, particularly your first year,
Yeah.
things are slow, and you gotta be patient, and making that one good connection can really start your career. It could really be a make or
Oh, yeah.
break.
Because we always think that, oh, I need to have 20,000 subscribers on Instagram or LinkedIn, and it's not true. If you have 100 people that are actually listening to what you're saying and you're bringing that 100 people value, much more valuable than all those other subscribers.
Absolutely. And to kinda wrap this up, what would be some advice that you wish you learned earlier in your career?
Well, I think my father kind of laid it out there, but patience is probably, I'm an A-type personality that is a Leo. And, I think patience is something that we all need to have if it's going to be in investing or in brokerage. And, when I first started young and just go, 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 um, I think I could have had more success if I'd have stepped back occasionally and taken a look at some things. I mean, I think having the aggressiveness was really a positive for a lot of reasons, but I think I probably would have been further if I would have had a little more patience.
I think that's very good advice. I mean, yeah, patience is huge, and, I mean, commercial can take a long time too to make those deals, so gotta be patient.
Yeah. Yeah. It's our industry gets a lot of people think they're going to get into commercial real estate and make money right away.
Mhm.
And, maybe you could get a deal together in your first few months, but you may not get paid for a while. It could take a while to go through the whole process. So you got to be realistic. And if you're thinking about getting into commercial real estate, I can give one piece of advice is when you're going out to interview, no, and they're interviewing you, you need to interview that brokerage firm just as much as they're interviewing you because this is the beginning. This is your career. It's very important you understand what you're getting yourself into. And I get agents that come to me saying, "Hey, this firm has offered me this." I'm like, "Well, you could probably, yeah, okay, that if that works, if it's real." And but have you looked at reviews on the company? Have you talked to other agents in the company? I suggest you do that before you jump ship. So
Yeah, that's great advice. So where can people find you and learn more information?
you've got joekillinger.co. It's right here behind me. You can check it out, or you can email me at joe@joekillinger.co, and check out the YouTube channel. Joe Killinger. I keep everything Joe Killinger. So if you just
Easy.
Google Joe Killinger, you're going to find me no matter what, right?
Simple. Well, that's awesome. You have so many subscribers on your YouTube.
It's going through a phase right now where it's really disheartening when we're getting thousands of views on every video, and now we're just getting it's pretty small. We just started redoing it, and so the subscribers that signed up that those numbers aren't. This isn't the content they want, but it's the passion that I really have, and the where I can really bring my value to our industry. And I got a little bit sidetracked with all the subscribes and the likes and the comments, and then leave it to family to bring you back down to earth, right?
Hey, there you go.
They'll
Your
do
family
that.
has a lot of good advice, it seems.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I
I
think
should
it's
listen to them
important.
more.
I think as you're building a social platform, I think authenticity is the most important thing. So if it's what you're authentically passionate about, your people will find you. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Joe.
Thank you, Kristen.
And thank you everybody for listening. We will see you back next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.